I just wanted to bring this up. I was looking at the Answer For It podcast this morning, and I realized that we got our first negative review.
Oh, did we really? Oh, congratulations.
What did they say?
They said that we use the phrase, it feels like too much.
What?
It was a scathing review. It referred to Elyse as a very patient moderator. And the thing that I couldn't get around is that it was posted by somebody called Pod Lover, which is I would assume that they love every other podcast but this one.
Or they listen to so many podcasts, so they look at ours with a very scrutinizing eye.
So they're looking for another comedy trivia podcast. I don't know if you have any recommendations for something that's like this, but not us.
What was the sense of the review? Like, did it have a star rating or something like that?
2 stars.
2 stars.
Wow.
Ouch.
I feel
where do we pull it up?
Like maybe we're just too emotional.
Yeah, I feel like you are correct.
I feel like maybe I should stop saying that phrase.
No, because we're healthy people who have all been to couples therapy as a foursome who have all been to the same couples therapist. I feel that we are making progress.
We're not going to change anything for Pod Lover.
We can't. It's too soon.
It's too soon.
For Pod Lover, at least, even though they would know.
Well, I feel for them.
I'm going to counter Pod Lover's review with a positive review from James's mother, who sends us a review, doesn't rate
God,
our
I wish
show,
she knew how to rate.
But she texts us a review for every episode. This is her review for episode 4?
Yeah.
4 or 5?
Yeah, 4.
You don't want a podcast opinion from someone who took 2 days just to connect with Bluetooth because she thought the earbuds needed recharging. Wasn't the case. She then went to settings and saw Bluetooth was disabled, much like IT Roy. She likes IT Crowd a lot. But enough about me. James, your Stallone, Glick, John Lennon, New Zealand Fisherman, and Dr. Benson Honeydew were impeccable. Gotcha. AJ's great.
See?
No.
She played on that.
She's finally figured it out.
She's finally figured it out.
I was like, wait a second. I think those were all me.
She gets AJ and her own son's voices confused.
Yeah.
I often get us confused too.
James, it's sweet that in your place here in the solar system, AJ and Zach are no farther away than Venus, as long as they're no closer than Uranus.
That's a good joke.
That's a good joke. I see where you get it from.
Again, all the free association, parentheses, Robin Williams is in awe, leading up to the answers is brilliant. I gave birth to Rick. This is about your brother's birth.
Oh,
go on.
Graphically described.
Go on. I'd like to hear more.
When did she get to my birth?
Yeah.
This is about the John Lennon question. She aced the question because it was so close to your brother's birthday.
Yeah.
I was already emotionally fragile when John's death was reported. Buffalo Zach took me for a ride in this episode.
Oh.
When first he perfectly summed up how the past trivia left him pretty much dazed, confused, and mishmashed, and not remembering what he had learned, I commiserated. I just have loved the voyage along the way. Then it seemed he sort of laid a guilt trip on Elyse for insensitivity.
Yeah, that's about right.
About what? I don't even remember. What did I...
Well, that was uncomfortable.
Okay.
And yet it also brought real life to just friends getting together for laughs. Elyse saying Zach rammed his chair into a tree to collect walnuts was a great parry. Thank you all. P.S. Grape Escape is in the closet.
Oh, baby.
I know. Yeah, we have it at home.
What? Could we play it live and it'll just be, you'll hear just the
We'll have
sound
to
of
get new
squishing
Play-Doh.
clay.
Yeah.
That's one of our Patreon perks is we play games on the radio.
Yeah.
People would probably love that.
Yeah.
I think a
honestly.
Patreon perk is the review your mom leaves every week.
Yeah.
We could do that.
Your mom, I imagine, is like an old Victorian widow who lives in a tower and waits for her husband to come back from some...
That's what I've always said to her. I was like,
Yeah.
you write text
A
the
war
same
widow.
way a Civil War widow writes to the front lines.
At night, you see her just staring out the window as the like the lighthouse light passes her eyes.
Yeah.
What are we doing here today? Why are we here?
This is a trivia comedy podcast, AJ, and it bothers me that you don't know that by this point.
I just show up and I keep forgetting the reason for the podcast. So are you going to ask us questions?
I'm going to ask you some pretty hard questions this week.
Are we going to give you answers?
Oh, James has gone cross-eyed again.
Yeah, James.
Oh no, I've gone cross-eyed.
I think I'm going to, as usual, I'm going to know all the answers and we're going to get through this podcast real fast.
Okay.
That's gas. This is episode 10.
This is
That's a
10.
milestone episode.
Wow. Bing, 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 bing.
So
People
this is
said
the
we'd never
last
make
one.
it. This is the last one. We're finished, finally.
The
Season
last-
of 10, then a 2-year break.
This is a writer's dozen.
Yeah.
10 episodes. First question here. When Alfred Mosher Butts of Poughkeepsie, New York.
Come on, guys. Get your mom, if you're listening, I didn't laugh at that low brow.
This is James and I'm laughing.
No, that's not how I sound.
Say it again. Say it again.
Say it again. Say it again.
When Alfred Mosher Butts
Oh, come on, guys.
of Poughkeepsie, New York invented Scrabble, he originally named it Lexico. That didn't take, and he renamed it Crisscross Words. In 1948, businessman James Bruno bought the rights and renamed it to Scrabble. What is the definition of the word Scrabble?
Ooh.
Oh.
So Scrabble was a word before it became the word associated with this board game, or he kind of was like, I named it Scrabble because in my mind, Scrabble sounds like blah.
I don't actually know that part of it, or if he imbued a word with this definition. I feel like it was an existing word. I do have some selections. If you want, I can.
Well, it seems like a word to describe a pile of like a mishmash, or as they would say in the UK, a bish bash bosh.
Little bish bash bosh. Isn't there a food like Scrapple? Like, isn't that a thing where it's
Scramble?
Well, I know there's Scramble.
No,
And then a Snapple.
Yeah,
It's
Snapple.
iced tea.
Yeah, you're thinking of Snapple, a scramble of Snapples.
A scramble of Snapple. Yeah, you get a little peach, you get a little regular.
Scrapple is like gruel. It sounds like a gruel.
I think it's okay. I'm probably wrong. I don't remember if this is
There's
like
also a fruit called an apple.
That's what you're thinking of.
I forgot about those. Those are great. Have you had one?
I've had one.
Oh, okay.
Was it what kind?
And then
was
you
it?
created original sin. That's a reference to the Bible.
I'm going to start reading it.
It's a long read, and there's a lot of different versions. King James has a take on it. James, I liked what you did with it. It's
Thank
pretty
you.
good.
Thank you. It was my best action is as the monarch. I felt
What were the three names? Like, it started off as LexCorp.
Well, this is
crosswords.
not,
It was crisscross words, but it doesn't have anything to do with the question. That was just backstory.
Oh, what was the question?
What does
What does
Scrabble
Scrabble
mean?
mean?
Yeah, it's a bunch of ingredients you all throw together.
No, it's not.
I know
like
what
a breakfast ingredients.
Okay, so what year was this again? What year did it?
Oh, that's gonna
was
help.
it renamed Scrabble?
1948.
Okay, so I think I know what this is. This is a dainty, less violent way to describe giving a woman a lobotomy.
Okay.
Oh,
Wow.
you
We're gonna-
Scrabble her?
Well, yeah, she was a little hysterical, so we scrabbled her brain.
Just scrabbled her up a bit, so that way she wouldn't do crazy things like stay out after 7
Or read a book.
or
Yep.
read books. Yeah.
Can't have women having thoughts back then. Having their own original thoughts.
I mean, maybe think about playing Scrabble. What you're doing while you're playing
spelling
Scrabble.
is a type of spelling.
No, James. It
I-
is on the
I-
surface. On the surface, you're spelling,
that's
but
not
you're
what
doing so much more
deeper-
Well,
mentally.
hold on. Is
see.
Scrabble itself a scrabbled word? If you rearrange the letters in the word
But that's
Scrabble,
not how the
does
game
it spell
works.
potato?
No.
It's not a
spells-
boggle.
Yeah.
Why would you even guess that?
Because I'm using my big
you
brain.
know it's not gonna spell potato.
It's gonna spell potato. I don't know. I haven't unscrabbled it yet, so I can't possibly know.
I can't potato-ly no.
potato-ly know. Whose potato is this?
Does it have something to do with the rarity of letters in the English language? Scrabble is an overall, it's a study of etymology where the X is rarely used.
I feel
Wait,
bad
what?
for anyone listening to this who knows the answer and just has to hear an
That's the whole
insufferable
show.
list. I
That's
know,
literally
but
the whole
this
show.
one in particular is
That's
like,
what Podlover hates about this.
I think it means when you get angry and you flip a board over.
I made my guess.
Okay.
he said
It's a
a
pile
bunch
of random
eggs.
meat from the
Yeah.
night before that you put in a pile and you eat it for breakfast. It's a Scrabble.
It's etching a letter into a tiny square of wood.
You know?
Well, I'll tell you the answer, and we will all evaluate who we think was closest.
Okay.
Who we feel.
And are we allowed to vote for ourselves?
Okay, you'll close your eyes and then we'll vote.
Yeah.
Wait. No, we'll close.
We're not
our
on that
eyes.
part yet. We're
She'll
not
close,
even-
close her eyes. She'll spin in a circle with her finger pointing out, and wherever she stops, they're the winner.
Today's
They get
episode
all the points.
with hot eye closing action for your ears.
Scrabble essentially means to grope frantically, to scrawl, scribble, scratch, claw, scramble, clatter, clamber, or struggle by as if by scraping or scratching.
So that's what we
I'm not-
did. We
I'm
did
not
that to
even
answer.
sure.
Yeah.
We're all
Should we
right.
call the show Scrabble?
Yeah.
We might want to change
Scrabble
the name
for
of it.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're-
Scrabble for it.
We showed and we didn't tell.
What does that have to do with the game?
Because you got all these, you got this heavy bag of pieces. This heavy bag of pieces.
that's a heavy
I gotta dip my hand in the bag. I gotta scrabble these up, James. Oh, the pieces are mixing
That's such
together.
a small element of the whole game.
I
That's
got
just a
this little tiny
randomizer.
board.
Little
It's only
board.
gonna hold 7 pieces. It's a struggle.
No, you're making it
I feel
seem like a burden,
I
but it's
feel like
not.
7 pieces is relatively manageable
Yeah.
for all those chaotic words you
it's a
use.
struggle.
No, it's
Oh,
not a
the
struggle.
struggle.
No matter how much you say it in an accent.
Groping in the bag for
In
the
the bag.
pieces.
All day she in the bag.
I don't get it.
Who do we think?
We
was
should have called it
closest?
crisscross words or whatever.
Yeah, crisscross words is a way better name, but obviously we know Scrabble has worked. I would have called it Candyland.
So you know how the guy put that sensor up his butt when he was playing chess, and then he
Oh
was
yeah. I think they determined that was not true.
oh
Wasn't it? I think
Was
he
there
was
just
like,
something
he was
else
like,
up there?
no, that wasn't the case.
And
Wait.
they agreed.
Was
I feel
it-
like someone's reverse come at me before because I mentioned that, and someone's like, he was cleared of all charges.
Do we have Snopes on the case? Can we still trust Snopes?
I mean, he tried to kill Ray and Kylo, so
Okay.
probably not.
Where do you go to find out if Snopes is a legitimate? Where would you go?
Snope 2.
So yeah, Wikipedia.
Yeah, where did we go?
Oh, I don't know. I have a question that's related to your question about Scrabble.
Please.
Do you know which came first, Boggle or Scrabble? Is it like they were thinking, oh, Boggle's a big hit? Maybe a word like that sounds fun.
Scrabble came first. Boggle was introduced in 1972.
Sounds
You
about
had
right.
that on lock.
Is-
You were like ready with that.
That's the one where you shake up everything, you try and find words.
Yeah.
A bish bash bosh.
Yeah, bish bash bosh.
I'm ready for the next one because I don't like words.
Yeah, no more definition questions, please,
Yeah.
ever for the history of the show, ever.
Let's see here. Which question do I want to
That was
put
a
in
good
here?
question, Elise.
Thank you.
I didn't get that one.
He's just being a contrarian.
No.
You know it. Mom, this is my voice.
Hi, Mom. It's me too.
No, you're going to confuse her.
Hi, Mom. It's me, Mommy.
No,
Mommy.
no,
Mommy, I
those
love
are
you.
the things I would say.
Mommy.
What unique aspect of movie theater culture was forever changed thanks to Alfred Hitchcock upon the release of Psycho in 1960?
Oh, I know this.
Uh,
Cup
Do
holders.
ya?
Yeah, cup holders in the
Cup
armrests.
holders and the armrests.
Slowly starting to learn. No, I don't know this offhand, but I will use my brain.
I thought you were going to use a phone a friend or something.
Oh, can we do that in this show?
You
Can
call
we
AJ?
Call me. I know the answer.
My ringer's probably
He's not
on,
picking
so
up.
I'll pick up. Wait, what was the? Can you say that again? I'm sorry.
What unique aspect of movie theater culture was forever changed thanks to Alfred Hitchcock upon the release of Psycho in 1960? You had to go into theaters in profiles only by silhouette.
It was no spoilers. No spoilers, hashtags. That's
He introduced the hashtag no
because
spoiler.
of that movie, because of the big twist. No spoilers, hashtag no spoilers.
I love a good hashtag.
Is that how he sounds?
He does sound a little bit like that.
Hello and welcome to
Well,
Alfred
well-
Hitchcock presents.
His jowls do get in the way of his speech, but
Yeah,
No, that's too
that's
far.
the Charlie Brown parents. I do know that apparently the water. Do you know this whole thing about when Psycho came out across apparently the U.S.? I don't know if this is true. This is just something they'd say at Universal Studios. Like the water usage went down because people stopped taking as many showers because they
Oh.
were so freaked out by the shower scene.
I think it was also the first time a toilet was seen flushing on screen.
Is
Yeah,
that true?
I thought that was going to be the answer.
No, this is about movie theater culture.
movie
Wow,
theater
it's
culture.
the first time the first time somebody saw a toilet on screen and they were like, oh, now I got to take a piss. Then I saw that toilet. People just used to sit through movies and now they would go to the bathroom to pee.
Not allowed to be on your phone.
yeah.
Listen, get me Klondike 415. Klondike 415, see?
You
Operator.
you think there was just a
It's a switchboard at the front of the theater.
you could run up and
Yeah. Operator, get me Charlie on 415 Street, please. That's a real nuisance. You know how hard it is to watch a movie when someone's on an old-timey phone? Telephone booths and...
Yeah, that's terrible. You're bringing that into the theater.
It's really it's a real hazard. About the culture, I don't know. That's a really hard way. Is there another way for you to rephrase that? Because I don't know if I fully understand.
It's the first time someone shouted out, Girl, don't go in there.
You're in danger, girl.
You're in danger, girl.
I know.
All right, then share.
I know a couple things. I know that if you came to the movie late, you wouldn't be seated.
Oh,
Ooh.
that seems like a legit
Okay.
thing. Yeah.
You had to be there on time.
Yeah.
Also, it was one of the first times a lead in a movie with was
Janet Leigh.
killed halfway through, right? Like that was
Much
a
less
big
than-
surprise. Main character killed.
But it didn't change the movie culture, right? You're
Yeah.
talking about something that happens in the theater.
Yeah, I'm talking about like, did Alfred Hitchcock say, let's put that bunch of crunch in with the popcorn?
It was the first time.
Yeah.
Alfred Hitchcock was the first person to cut the hole in the bottom of the popcorn.
Oh my God.
It's buttery.
You probably think me a psycho.
Oh no.
Do you
Are
all
we
have
close?
an answer for this?
Are we close?
I've
I don't
given
know.
you
Sometimes I don't
several
know. Yeah.
answers.
I
You-
think the door.
So,
I don't have a
I'm
legitimate.
changing how the show goes.
Okay.
You're
Even
not
if you
gonna
say
help
the right
us.
answer, I'm going to wait until you all lock in an answer.
That means it was definitely me that I was right.
I think it was James. James is such a strong man.
Jimmy
I don't know.
Glick.
Did Jimmy-
Alfred
It's
Cockitch.
Alfred. What's it like being such an icon of the legendary screen and stage?
You know, Psycho is one of my favorite films, and I think I know a little something or two about the franchise.
Oh, the whole franchise, huh? Wow.
Oh, it was the first time Vince Vaughn was allowed on screen. That's what the change
Allowed
the
on
culture.
screen.
Allowed on
They've been
screen.
holding him back
Yeah.
by, you
Go
know.
ahead, take the bag off.
Yeah.
And they revealed him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm locking in my answer.
Yeah,
Vince
I'm also
Vaughn.
locked in. Cup holders.
Okay.
And doors. Is that what you were saying? Popcorn buckets.
Popcorn bucket.
Holes in
Hole
the bottom of the popcorn
Okay.
bucket. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
It's a shame Zach didn't go with his other answer because he was right. Hitch demanded that theater owners and exhibitors shut their doors and refuse entry to any moviegoer who was not in their seats before the start of the movie. Because prior to Psycho, it was really common where you would just drop in for a movie at any given time. Theaters operated on this kind of like grind policy, not the hole in the popcorn bucket
I
grind.
bet they did.
So basically, the motion picture program was unspooled in this like endless loop.
Oh.
So you just kind of showed up and started watching the movie whenever. And then the phrase, "this is where we came in," became a catchphrase because like you'd go to the movie with your partner and you'd show up 20 minutes in and then you'd watch until the end. And then you would start it from the beginning. And then you'd get to the point that you walked in at and you'd be like, "this is where we came in." And then you'd leave.
That's how I do it still. Because
Yeah, that is true.
I've
I know.
never shown up on time for a movie. I'll show up 40 minutes late because I don't anticipate how long it's going to take me on the toilet.
Yep.
And I'll just watch the next one.
We've
Mm-hmm.
gone to so many movies with Zach where he's left during it. And then it's the kind of thing where you're like, I don't know if he's coming back because he doesn't signal to you. He doesn't
No.
give you any indication.
No,
I'm leaving. Goodbye. He just leaves.
this leaves.
We saw Heretic together, and when you came in, it was like a parade had come in. It was like, like the Queen had arrived because you sat in front of us. It was like, hey guys, like right in the middle of the. I want to say, was it in the intro or in the trailers? But it was
Yeah.
exciting for
timed
me.
out really well.
I really like to distract everyone.
Yeah. It's like in Disney World, they have this lagoon where they have a parade that goes by that no one really pays attention to, but it's got lights and stuff. And if you know it's there, it's delightful. But if you didn't know it was there, you wouldn't know. You're my lagoon parade.
Well, I went to Disneyland and I saw a version of that parade during Chinese New Year.
Oh.
It was cool because it was all this cultural stuff. But instead of telling the story of Chinese New Year, it just told the story of Chinese New Year through Mulan,
Interesting.
which I
Oh.
don't feel is necessarily accurate.
well,
Why not?
it's close though.
Was Eddie Murphy not present in ancient Chinese history?
Well, Mushu was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's a historical figure.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
One last thing on this, then we can move
Please.
on. I think Hitchcock wanted people there early, not so they got the whole picture of the film, but so they'd see his cameo. Because it comes in early when she's like leaving the office, she's driving, he's like crossing the street. He didn't want people to miss his cameo.
Oh,
That's what I
okay.
think. So it's not a creative decision, it's purely selfish.
Pure ego.
Pure
Yeah.
ego. That's what he's known for.
Did he allow people to leave? Do you know?
No, they locked the doors.
Yeah, yeah.
Set a small fire.
with me. Next question. The mascot known as the Craver was once the spoke monster for which popular cereal between 1995 to about 2005.
Grape nut.
You think grape nuts had a mascot known as the Craver because people crave grape nuts.
Who
Yeah,
doesn't
people-
crave
People
grape
love
nuts?
grape nuts. I remember my dad always used to sell me on how great grape nuts were. He's like, you put milk in them, it looks like there's more.
Like rice? Like
Was
when you
your
make
dad
rice?
the craver?
He may have been.
Listen, my son, this is our secret.
He was really always trying to. He was probably the one that pitched the Craver. He's like, we
Yeah.
got to get these grape nuts out to more people if we make a must.
I actually
Wow.
love grape nuts.
I know you do.
I love
You
them a
lit
lot.
up when you said that. I've never seen you so joyful.
Because they get a bad rap, but I think they're really good. The only problem is you need to cook them in the milk.
What are they?
Oh,
Grape nuts?
Like, what is it?
It's like hamster food, essentially. It's these hard little...
like muesli. Or
yeah,
like-
but even smaller, ground down things.
Like
It's
a
like
coffee grind.
basically if they were like, we take wheat and then it goes through a process and it becomes this grain, and then that grain is then pressed again, and that's how we make bread or something. It's that phase before it becomes processed.
What do you like about it?
I think it tastes really good, but the problem is you have to soak it in the milk for about as long as it would take to cook
Get
an
'em wet.
actual meal.
What I'm saying, you
Yeah.
got to have the milk. So otherwise,
Wet.
you're just eating dry little bits of dog food.
Yeah, you really need it. But when it soaks it up, it's really, really good. But if you put too much milk in there, then it's gonna not be
Ooh.
good. It's
See,
a
just
hard
like
ratio.
It's this enthusiasm that I think is going to get you the part as the Craver.
I'm the new Craver, except that I don't think it was grape nuts. I have an idea what it might be.
I think there's a cereal called Crave, which is like a hard outer casing that's like a tan thing, and the inside is like a gooey chocolate or
I
something. They have
remember that as
different.
well.
And it would make sense
I don't-
that Crave cereal would have the Cravest. What did you
The
call him?
Craver.
The Craver.
Cravis.
Cravis.
The
That's
Cravis.
a terrible
Craver
name.
sounds
Not good
That's
at all.
I'm the cravest.
Run, honey, it's him.
Clean my cereal.
Anyway,
He's turned into a monster. He was
yeah.
a man.
He was a
but
man.
for so long, he craved.
He was bitten by a radioactive bowl of cereal
Yeah,
that
we
had
don't-
to be soaked for over 30 minutes.
We
I just like to put out for any cereal sponsors. We love cereal on this
Love
podcast.
cereal.
We will read any brand, read for
any
cereal
garbage
you
Any
want.
cereal. What's the Three
Cravist
Wishes?
can
is
be
the one
a
I
guest on this bad boy.
want. Cravist.
I want Fruit Loops to be a sponsor. I'm shooting my shot. I love Fruit Loops.
No,
I do.
want Fruit
I'm a big
Loops.
Fruit Loop. If I had to choose, though, I would say Golden Grams. I'm a big Golden
Okay.
Graham guy.
And
I
James,
don't like
you go,
fruit-based cereals.
You go grape nuts.
If
That
we
is-
could have any sponsor,
It has grape in the title.
no, probably not grape nuts, but I think they're underappreciated when you get them made just right. I like Honey Bunches of Oats as just a
Oh.
pure cereal for eating cereal. Is really
So
good.
our ad would be like, honey, yes, bunches of oats.
And that's the end
and
of
they
the
go,
ad.
all right, we've chosen to discontinue the sponsorship. Thank you
You've
so
actually
much.
tanked the company.
Yeah,
Oh.
thank you so much. Can I want to make a guess.
Nobody asked me what my favorite
Oh,
cereal
what's
is.
your
sorry,
favorite
Elyse.
cereal?
What's your favorite cereal?
Oh, I mean, Lucky Charms.
Oh,
Is it
you're
actually?
Lucky Charms.
Yeah, I love Lucky Charms.
Oh.
'Cause it's all sugar.
For some reason, I thought you were going to say Fruity Pebbles. I don't know, which is, I taste different now. I don't know why. Maybe there's less.
Just hits different,
Yeah.
I guess.
I just don't like fruit.
I'm shocked that no one brought up Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Well, because it's obviously the best.
I didn't appreciate cinnamon my whole life.
What?
Like as a kid, cinnamon was a bad. I hated cinnamon. Ew.
What?
If something
What?
had cinnamon in it, I didn't want any
What?
part of it. Stay
I
in your
don't
chair, Zach. What are you
understand.
doing?
I don't
Whoa.
understand.
He's reaching into his
He's got a gun.
pocket for
I'm just
something.
gonna get my box of hot tamales out.
Oh, okay.
You just start spiking them.
I
I
out.
didn't
just
like
gotta
cinnamon.
get my box of hot tamales
But
out.
I love it now as an adult. I think it's a great flavor. But as a kid, I didn't like cinnamon at all.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What was it? That was.
Was it
Did
the
you have a
it's
bad
confusing.
experience?
It was just confusing, I think, because it's like spicy. It's a heat. There's a heat to it that I thought of sweetness as like chocolate, like just chocolate, which is cold, cold and creamy, as opposed to granular
Chocolate
and
is
spicy.
Cold.
Yeah.
There's literally a drink called hot chocolate.
I didn't really love hot chocolate either as a kid.
All
That
right,
seemed
don't
more
look at
like an
me.
adult beverage.
Don't pull me into your weirdness.
I'm not trying to convince anybody. I'm just he's shouting at me and
Yeah,
reaching
it's
in for his
true. With
gun.
a box of
He's
tamales.
reaching in.
Two things. This spokes monster has not been the spokes monster mascot since 2005. James, you seemed like you had an inkling
I
of.
feel like I don't know if this was the Craver Raisin Bran Crunch had a furry monster.
What, wasn't it just
Guy.
a sun with hands?
That's
with like scoops?
regular raisin bran.
That's raisin.
regular.
That's
So-
regular Raisin Bran. But
Who's
raisin.
craving Raisin Bran?
See, I really like raisin bran a lot.
I love
'Cause
Raisin
it's
Bran.
Like raisins and like little pieces of wet paper towel.
But the crunch had like a
You had
little
about
chunk in it.
15 seconds to get that crunch.
That's true.
Well, let me tell you, this mascot was insatiable. They wanted this cereal so bad. They were a bit of a psychopath. So this is a cereal that you have to be willing to step over your loved one to get to.
Is this the
the
furry guy?
The honeycomb freak with the big eyes.
Me want honeycomb?
Yeah,
Yeah.
is it that
Is that
freak?
him?
The Craver was the honeycomb spokesmonster
That's
from
it.
1995 to about 2005, and then retired inexplicably.
Drugs.
Kind of hidden from public record. There's no sign of the Craver on Honeycomb's official website. And the brand's PR team have even claimed that the company has, quote, lost some historical information over years of changing ownership.
What do you mean historical? Like, was he part of the Confederacy?
The lore of the Craver.
Well, it's like we took down the statue of the Craver in the South. People were offended by it.
He was. Wasn't he like a computer graphics character too?
Yeah, he was
like terrifying looking.
So
like
that's
there were
probably
different
why they lost
iterations
the
of him. There may
files.
have been a puppet iteration.
He was
of him
that
too.
like when
Yeah.
episode 1 came out, they had like a really terrifying like Pepsi mascot. Does anyone remember that? That was like specifically a Star Wars Pepsi mascot.
No.
This feels like a question one day. I wouldn't know the character's name, but there was like a type of CG graphic where we weren't there yet, but
Yeah.
we had added skin texture to everything. I feel like this character falls in that category where it's like it's realistic and fake, and it makes you feel a little sick in the teeth.
Uncanny Valley.
Yeah.
Are there any commercials on YouTube that we could see?
Of course there are.
Yes.
Sure.
We won't waste our time with it now, but absolutely. It looks like if a Band-Aid had eyes with fur on it, like, or like a little a testicle. It looks like a testicle with eyes.
Yeah, it's like a little rat man.
It looks like Large Marge.
Yeah, it
like
does
a
look like
Large
Large
Marge, but like mid-scream transformation.
But at the time, it's all we had.
I feel like a village would fortify itself against the Craver. They would tell tales of like, do not eat the honeycomb, for the Craver will come in the night.
That's what
Mother,
the 13th
please.
Warrior is about.
Yeah, exactly. We have to ford ourselves against the... Anyway, please.
Did you like that cereal, James?
I don't think I ever had it.
Has anyone ever had honeycomb cereal?
It didn't sound good to me.
No. I don't like honeycomb, and I don't like little furry, terrifying
I liked
creatures.
cornflakes as a kid.
Oh, you're a weird kid.
I like cornflakes. I like Raisin Bran.
Ugh.
I didn't even like Cookie Crisp.
Cookie Crisp is gross.
I didn't want to eat cookies in my cereal. I had just a distinction in my brain that said this is what breakfast is, and I didn't buy into even fruits. Like you guys are talking about Fruit Loops and stuff and Fruity Pebbles. I didn't want fruits in a
did.
bowl covered in milk with sweetness all
Cookie
over 'em.
Crisp felt like the hardest, worst version of like any cookie you've ever had in your life.
Yeah.
It's like oh crap, I forgot we put cookies in the oven. Now here's a cereal of it. And
Yeah.
the chips weren't real. They were just like painted on dots.
Cookie Crisp.
But we do
I
got
remember
that.
those.
Yeah, the
Those
guy wanted to
commercials.
steal that cereal, not pay for it.
My next question is technically a music question, but then it
Okay.
also has a food element to it as well.
Okay.
According to the Drifters song Under the Boardwalk,
Yeah.
what two foods can you almost taste?
Under the boardwalk.
I
Yeah.
know this one.
He knows all the lyrics of that song by heart.
He's breathing heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got
He's
this.
trying to remember.
I'm
He's like,
I'm
the
a
Under the
huge
Boardwalk.
Drifters fan. I
Uh-huh.
love the Drifters. Their version of Up on the Roof is one of my favorites.
Under the
They
Boardwalk.
go
Wait,
at-
so they did
Matters.
Under the Boardwalk
They
and
did
Up on the Roof?
Up on the
Have
Roof.
they ever just been level?
No.
No. They're never in a
Never at
mid-space.
sea
Yeah.
level.
They're not allowed on ground level.
Yeah.
They just drift.
Yeah.
But I know the answer, but I know that you don't like it when I show my intelligence and trivia prowess.
So
Well,
it's-
he's saying all this, by the way, while holding his hot
Clutching,
tamales.
clutching his hot
he's like
tamales.
shaking
Well,
them like
now
to
that
make a point.
But now that I've taken them out, I don't want to shake them too much.
It's
Put 'em
almost
away.
like now Zach.
no,
There they
Zach.
No,
Please think of the children.
it's like now Zach knows that cinnamon is James's kryptonite.
Yeah.
I like it now. I didn't like it
keeps him
as a
away.
kid. I'm fine with it now.
Oh.
I don't want those
There it
hot
goes.
tamales, but
They're on the ground now.
I'm gonna say chili dogs and cotton candy.
It does feel like that would be it.
Because
It'd
he'd
be like,
stay under the boardwalk. I remember the lyric. He goes, under the boardwalk, maybe this chili slips through.
Under the boardwalk.
The chili slips through.
It slips through the boards.
Yeah,
of the boardwalk.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, what's under a boardwalk? Use needles.
the drifters, obviously.
drifters.
Are down
Yeah.
there.
You can almost taste the
Chewed up.
dead fish.
Yeah,
Coney Island whitefish.
chewed up bubble gum.
Fish and the bubble gum. If you hold your mouth open long enough.
They will drip some beans into your tea. Yeah, I could see that being that, right? Yeah, you're imagining them under there with their mouths agape.
It can only be food items that are able to drip down through the slats in the boardwalk.
James's mother is screaming right now because I know she knows
every
the answer
lyric.
to
Loves
this.
boardwalks.
She loves to walk on a board.
She grew up
I
in New York
know
City.
this.
Okay, what is
when
it?
I was
Wise
such
guy.
a weirdo kid that I would always go to Circuit City and buy the old like soul or Motown records, and I would always choose the cheapest one. But what I didn't realize is that there were all of these re-record of classic songs.
I hate
and
that.
so I remembered returning a Drifters CD because it was them recording the songs when they were like 70.
Oh, yeah.
God.
Yeah.
So, but the what they would sell under the boardwalk was obviously French fries and hot dogs.
That's what they could almost taste it? Oh.
The hot dogs and French fries. Yeah, French fries and hot dogs.
This is how did you arrive at this question?
I look for anything and everything. I'm so desperate.
You're scraping under the boardwalk. Yeah. Just
Were you just listening to this song and then you're like, that could be?
What could they almost taste?
I don't remember how I came across this one.
If we ever started some sort of financial support for this show, which God knows it needs it, but I think a good extra episode would be just devoted entirely to how Elyse came up with her questions.
More work for Elyse.
Just no, you're
Now I
already
gotta
doing the work, and we would just ask you. We'd be like, so that question from this one.
Yeah, I want to know the search terms.
How did you come up with that question?
I'm
Where were
imagining
you
it.
searching?
Well, that would be a great thing to have for my next question.
Okay, great.
How long is the world record for the farthest male ejaculate?
Wait,
did we get the answer?
Yeah, it was French fries.
It's
And
the same answer as this: hot dogs and French fries. They measure
if
it.
you take an order of French fries and you lay them out, tip of fry to tip of fry.
How did they measure this?
Yeah, wait. Is it
Because
Measured
if you're
it?
tall, if you say you're taller, it's probably going to go
James,
further.
It's measured in feet, first of all.
From the urethra?
I don't have the
Are
specifics.
doctors doing this? Listen, this is your assignment, Dr. Gary.
So I don't know the exact in and outs, but I think it's a guy who he said this was.
You don't
Wait, a guy setting his own
Go
record?
ahead. No, go ahead.
You don't know the ins and outs? I could at least tell you what the ins and outs are.
All right.
You did this. You started
I want to hear
this,
more about
Elyse.
this guy.
I think he said, I have this record. I did this.
I'm
and
the man. I'm the man. Best in the world.
and people took it as, okay, Guinness World Records, we'll put him in.
Yeah.
But
Whoa,
it's,
Guinness
I will
recognized
say
this?
it
You
has
can
been,
pay
I don't want to
anything.
get into the politics of it.
We could get a Guinness World Record for this podcast. We would just have to pay for it. Easy.
Well, I think his record has been scrutinized. So take this question with a grain of seed.
A grain of, yeah, with a seed of salt.
A seed of salt. But yeah, if you want, I can give you 4 options.
No.
Billy
We can
Mitchell.
get this.
I'd like the option to pass.
All we need to know is what unit of measurement is it in?
Feet.
Are we
Feet.
guessing
Okay,
the
so but
distance?
like point. So something. I assume he didn't land it directly on a
I
foot.
got a question. Is it like the physical challenge you would do in school where you had to you're at a baseline? So is his waist area?
This guy didn't. There's none of this. There's no
Well, I don't know.
regulation.
What's
the
the-
guy just came out, no pun intended, and said, "I did it," and no one could refute.
Which Olympics was this in?
What is the what
this
is
in Torino?
were you just on a website of it
Yeah, I
just
know what
went
website it was.
longest distance?
I
Yeah, you do.
come across a lot of different things
So
in my
does him.
searches.
All
So,
right.
so he does that too.
Yeah. So we're
Uh,
guessing the distance.
So we're gonna say the distance.
Go the distance.
I'm going to
Okay.
say 6 feet.
6 feet.
Based on the
Respectable.
triangle of a human, let's say it's a 6-foot human. Well, I guess his thing would be down about 3 feet, 4 feet.
Pythagorean theorem.
Yeah, I'm using math.
X squared, Y squared.
Is it from person to ground, or is he
It's
on top of
distance.
a building?
That's what. None. You're trying to find regulation. She's specified.
Well,
there's no regulation here. It's just a guy that
Keep
said
in
he
mind,
did
is
this.
he working with a water pistol or a super soaker? We don't know.
We don't know. If it's going to
It's
be like
from the
23
point of
feet, I'm
release.
going to leave.
It's got to be from the point of release.
We're gonna,
That's what I think. I don't think you measure it
we
from your
just-
feet.
We need
You
to
measure
we
it
need
from
to- We need to answer this question so I can ask another
I'm
question
gonna
as
say-
palate cleanser.
I'm
Okay,
gonna
thank
say. I'm gonna say 11 feet.
do you pronounce it sherbet or sherbert?
I say
sherbet.
sherbet.
I say sherbet because I'm from New Jersey.
There's no R in there.
Yeah, I don't put letters where they don't belong.
I say
No, it's a letter.
sorbet for sorbet and sherbet for sherbet.
Thank you.
No.
Yeah.
What do you say for
Sorbet
aluminium?
doesn't have an R, does it? But sherbet does. Sherbet.
I'm going to say for this question, I really just want to stop
Yeah.
thinking about it.
No, we got to get to the
Like,
bottom
this
of
is
this.
go home.
exclusive.
But here's the thing. I was like, should I bring up to Elyse that I feel like maybe we would get a bigger audience with the podcast if we did questions that were more family friendly?
Oh,
I mean, this is how families are started.
Oh, I see.
Not when it lies upon the dusty ground.
It's true. We don't know where it's being aimed at. So
Okay. I'll go with.
we could also cut this entirely.
Just say a number. My God. We'd be done with it by now if you just said a
6
number.
feet. Zach also says 6 feet.
6.1.
Oh, Price is right.
Good Price is Right rules. Again, we don't know. We don't know the legitimacy of this.
Yeah.
18 feet.
Wow. 18 feet.
What is he got? What is going on in there?
18 feet.
Possible.
I'm trying to imagine 18 feet from where I am
also-
now.
Is this like where he's aiming up and arcing like
There
a
must-
grenade?
yeah, oh, yeah, there must be an arc.
I hate it.
There must be an arc. I would also wager that there's some speckling. So it's like
All right, I
what's
hate
the
this.
furthest point where anything reached? Not necessarily.
Let's cut all of this.
Did he go? What did he?
It's natural. It's part of the human body.
People get weird about this stuff, like us.
No, I'm fine with it.
Yeah,
It's
you're like,
natural.
I'm uncomfortable.
I'm
with it.
uncomfortable.
Next question. In a 2005 interview with Nintendo Power, Shigeru Miyamoto told the magazine that he
had just come
ejaculated.
18 feet. Sorry.
In a 2005 interview with Nintendo Power, Shigeru Miyamoto told the magazine that he considers Super Mario's physical age to be this. What is it?
Oh my God. It's going to be something so
So
depressing.
it's not like
Yeah.
it's not like,
It's gonna be-
it's the 35th anniversary of Mario, whatever.
Yeah,
It's
no.
like, this is
How
how
old Mario is.
Canonically, how old
canonically
is he?
considers Mario to be.
I'm going to say 30. Just 30. It's Carl Winslow logic. They're always younger than you think they are.
Well, yeah, because Reginald Val Johnson was what, like 38 years
I think
old?
he was 19.
In season 3, they specifically say he's 38.
Who?
Jesus.
Which? Who?
On
What?
Family Matters. the
Carl
dad.
Winslow. But
Yeah.
there's another thing where they get wrong about the age. They imply that they had Laura when they were 20. Which
Well, but I also
doesn't
think
make
the
any
actor
sense.
was like 38 when the show
Oh,
started.
yeah.
Yeah.
But he looks great.
He looked great.
Look great.
I'm going to say 33.
I'm a little plumber. I'm a 33.
Old enough to have his own business.
Yeah.
And he's not married.
My 20s were very hard for me.
Well, we don't know if he's, maybe divorced.
Well, you think he's an unmarried?
I've
It
seen
would
some
make
cheap-
sense that he would have a previous marriage, find success, divorce his wife, and then go after this much younger princess.
No.
You
My
think,
wife left me for Luigi.
you think he had eyes for anyone other than Peach?
I mean, maybe Yoshi did something.
Luigi's
you think
older
he was
too.
princessing in a
pet.
different castle?
I think so. You meet a little thing with a tongue like that.
What are you implying?
Just
I don't
muttering
like
about
the
Yoshi
implication.
over there.
Are you confessing something about your attraction to Yoshi?
I'm not saying that I'm just saying if I was, he rides that thing all along, sees that, how many like little
Are you
tortoise
drunk?
shells.
Yeah, how many tamales have you
Yeah.
had?
I'm just saying, put a tongue on that thing. That's all I'm saying.
So you're saying anything with a tongue you think is it's okay to give a
No,
little
I'm not
kiss?
saying it's okay. I'm just saying that in a faraway land with a bunch of animals.
Oh, okay. That makes it better.
Ah, yeah, in a faraway land with
In
a
a
bunch of
faraway
animals.
land.
So you're saying if you were in Shrek World, you could kiss anything?
No,
Or
he's saying
riding.
if he was in
so
Australia.
many make-believe characters.
Okay. So it'd have to be make-believe characters. We don't know. It hasn't been proven that Yoshi ain't real.
Is Luigi older or younger?
He's taller.
Younger.
He's a younger
He is
brother?
young.
He is
right?
younger, but he is taller.
Let me Google.
Much
how
like me and my brother,
I wasn't
I
sure. I would have thought he was younger, but then I was like, maybe they said some sort of weird thing where he's older.
I don't
But
know what my birthday.
I guess he must be younger, right?
He might be the twin brother of Mario.
Oh.
Twins, huh? Okay.
It's probably.
But who came out first?
They came out at the same time. They both went, yoo-hoo!
Yes,
Yeah.
they're fraternal twins.
Oh,
Born
okay.
of
I
two
didn't know.
separate eggs, not Yoshi eggs, you pervert.
two separate eggs.
They're not human.
So
Wait a
they're
minute.
They
Fraternal
just look
twins.
human.
are you serious about the egg
We're-
thing?
An ova.
Well, we're
Wait,
all in
turtle
eggs. We all
twins.
came from eggs.
No, but I thought it was because in the Super Mario Brothers movie, everyone's hatching out of eggs.
Mario's the older twin.
Okay, so
Mario
you're
is the older
saying
twin.
that
Okay.
My Mario Yoshi romance would be sanctioned.
Hey, how old do you think Mario is?
I thought 25.
I'm
okay,
going 30.
25.
Going
I
30.
said 33.
Do you think he's got an established career?
Yeah.
In Shigeru Miyamoto's mind, Mario is 24 to 25 years old.
Oh.
That's
Nailed it.
depressing. That's depressing. Have you
Nailed
ever
it.
seen? There's a photo of who Mario was based on. He was like a janitor or like a warehouse worker, and it just looks like someone basically painted a realistic version of the cartoon or the little sprite.
It's the guy who let them have free rent. They couldn't make their rent or something
Yeah.
for a factory or a warehouse. And he was like, it's a fine.
It's fine.
Just remember,
Make
I
an
jump
ins-
it 3 times.
Make an insulting drawing of me.
That's like in Street Fighter, Dalsim is like not, I guess, a word or a name. It was like an Indian restaurant in Tokyo across the
Oh.
offices or something from where but it meant nothing. It was like some sort of broken English, or not broken English, but broken Hindu
Hindi?
or something. Yeah.
We're spreading misinformation.
It's
We don't
something
know
like
any of this.
that, but I thought that was funny. And guile, like there's tons of words where it's just like, this sounds like something.
Language is very fluid. It's always changing. We're always
Yeah.
adding new words to the dictionary.
We're always scrabbling it up.
Scrapple.
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 One last quick question that's actually a riddle. What starts out soft and gets harder the more it's warmed?
That
No,
guy
stop
who
it.
won that Guinness World Record.
James, please. Zach wants us to be a family-friendly podcast.
He then started talking about having
He-
sex with
No,
Yoshi.
I
did.
didn't.
He did.
You couldn't have even inferred that from what I said.
Did you say what starts off soft and hardens?
and
as-
gets harder the more it's warmed.
It's an egg.
That is correct, James.
Wow.
Get your minds out of the gutter.
I was going to
Gutter.
say the heart, but then I realized that's not good. Because I was like, oh, it warms your heart, but your heart doesn't become more solid and firm, I hope.
I got
Yeah, it
hot
does.
heart.
Stop loving me, please. Oh, I'm dying.
Arteries are tightening up.
Yeah, it's all this love.
That was a weird episode.
Nailed it.
It was a weird. It was fun though.
I had some fun.
Yeah,
I had a little bit of fun. There's one question we should cut.
Which one?
Why?
That's the one. There's the
Which
one about
one?
Mario.
Oh, yeah, the Mario question. That was a
I
bad
don't like
question.
feeling so old in comparison to someone that I still view as a man in his like late 70s.
And he's so
They
accomplished.
always
he's done
talk
so
about
much.
Cheers and they go, this is the age of everyone in Cheers. And they show them. But that's the age that the actors were when the show began.
In
They
1982.
still look
So-
like they're 58.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. They look old, but to compare it with yourself, it's useless.
But everyone smoked. Nobody wore sunscreen.
They were spending all day at that bar.
It's true.
I don't wear sunscreen.
We were in the
I wish
mines.
I did.
You should.
It was-
You still can.
I will say, Zach, for someone you're 40 or 41.
Yeah.
For someone of that age that you don't do any of that, you look great.
I appreciate that. That's all I wanted to hear.
Mhm.
Well, thanks, everyone.
You're welcome. I was going to say, I can't tell if you look great because you move so fast. I can never get a clear bead on you.
Yeah, that's what everyone says.
Yeah, you-
Zach goes so fast.
Yeah.
That's the end of the show. This is a call out to all of our listeners. Please, we love our pod lovers, but they're not leaving us the best reviews.
Mhm.
Is that a
So-
call out to pod lovers specifically?
I'm just saying we need other reviews. Please leave us, 5 stars.
Yeah,
What if we find out
Yeah.
it's James's mom?
She would never.
No,
Because she wouldn't
do
know
that.
how,
She wouldn't. do that.
unfortunately.
Or she might have done that by accident.
My mom used to listen to Elise's other podcast, 30 Morbid Minutes, on the
Used to.
Google Podcasts app. And then Google shut down that program and moved it over to like YouTube and YouTube Music. And as far as my mom was concerned, it was gone forever.
Yeah.
So I had to, when this started, I had to tell her where she could get it and walk her through that process. But now she's on board, aren't you, Mom?
She's under the boardwalk.
She's
where
under the
eating
boardwalk.
hot dogs.
Waiting for that chili dog
Mm.
to slip on through.
Please leave us a review and subscribe and follow the podcast. And also follow us on social media at Answer For It Show and Zach Anner, James Willems, Elyse Willems, and AJ Lucasio. Anything else you guys want to plug?
Thank you.
Well, there is a semi-regular live show that's loosely inspired this podcast called Answer For It.
Yes.
Dynasty Typewriter.
If you follow this account, this is the best way to find out when we will be doing more live shows.
And come here for new episodes every Tuesday.
Or don't. Pod lover.
I think we win back Pod Lover.
I think we
My
win him
goal
over.
is Pod Lover to come back and go, they didn't use the phrase or whatever it was as much, and I liked it.
Yeah, I don't think we did use it as much.
I feel like Pod Lover will like us.
Oh, no, you blew it. You blew it.